Hello there, thank you very much for joining us for another exciting edition of the Lunchtime Cafe. Welcome to it. My name is Marco Kwakoz. Now, this is a program that comes to you every Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We come to you at exactly 12 hours, and then we give you a different segment. We start with the midday news, and then we get into a segment we call the Emerging Stories segment, and then after that we get into a segment we call the Forgotten Stories segment, and then we give you the interview segment and also the Nutrition Corner. And we also have a segment that we call the viewer's reaction. On that particular segment, we expect that you call us and give us your views as regards some of the stories that we are looking at on that particular day. So you are catching us live on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and channel 106 on a Top Star. Those are the channels you can catch us on. But remember also that we are streaming live on our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV. So you go to that particular page, like it and share it, and then go to to this particular broadcast and go to the comment section and leave your comments there. We'll be more than happy to see what you are thinking about as regards this particular program and what we are discussing. Also, you can find us on YouTube. The channel is Camnet TV. So those are the platforms you can catch us on if you want to participate on this particular program. And also we are going to be giving you numbers that you can call us on. They are on your screens right now. So you go to your phones and dial those numbers. We will be more than happy to receive your calls. But the last number, which is 0962444726, is not for calls. It is strictly for WhatsApp messages. So if you can send your messages via WhatsApp, you send to that particular number, 0962444726. Alternatively, you can send your voice notes rather, to that particular number. Or if you would love to do a short video of yourself giving your contributions, you can do a short 1-minute video and send it to that WhatsApp line. So that line is strictly for WhatsApp messages, voice notes and videos. You send to that particular line, and do not call on that line. We are not going to pick up that call. Just send your WhatsApp messages, videos and voice notes. We will be more than glad to listen to what you have to say about what we are discussing this beautiful afternoon. So let's get to it. Let's start with the first segment. We call the first segment the Emerging Stories segment. Now on this segment we give you stories that are happening right now. Our reporters are all over the country and are sending us what they are working on, and that is what we call the emerging segment, the Emerging Stories segment. But before we go into the nitty-gritties of the emerging stories, let's quickly take a short break, and when we come back we'll be getting into the emerging stories.
It's time! Camnet TV brings to you an exciting kid show called My Creation. Join me, Sarah Chandamangazagya, to interact with kids with special skills and talents between the age range of 9 to 17. This show will come to you every Saturday at 13:30 on Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. You are on the Lunch Time Cafe on Camnet TV, and we are now on a segment we call the Emerging Stories segment. Let's have a look at some of the stories that we expect to make the cut in our 1930 evening bulletin today. The first story says Citizens First President Harry Kalaba has condemned the manner in which the removal of street vendors was done. Now, Mr. Kalaba believes that government should have been more proactive and taken a collaborative approach by working with the vendors and helping them identify alternative places for them to operate from. He says this is important, especially in the wake of harsh economic conditions that the country is faced with. So that is one of the stories that we are expecting a build-up on as we get into the main news at 19:30 this evening. Another story comes from former local government minister Stephen Kampyongo, who says the issue of vendors should have been comprehensively tackled on the win-win basis. Now he says there was a need to find alternative trading places before saying that was part of the previous government plan of reserving some specific streets for vending for limited hours, just like is the case in other countries. Now he says under the Lusaka decongestion project, there was almost a component of expanding the roads in the central business district.
There was a program called Decongest Lusaka and other cities, which saw the expansion of roads and which also was going to see to it that the road network in the CBD, which was designed when the traffic volumes of motor vehicles and people were very low. I mean, if you look at Cairo Road, Chachacha Road, Freedom Way, Lumumba Road, and the roads that are there were going to be re-engineered. And so the aspect of traders was equally factored in there. And that apart from increasing trading places, which saw the Simon Moalen trading market, which has been built now, was one of the solutions to try and decongest the streets as the roads were going to be re-engineered and other spaces were going to be identified. So it was, in my view, the most appropriate approach to take, so that you kill two birds with one stone. You remove people from undesignated places of trading by creating designated places, and then apportion certain streets that could be used for specific periods of trading. It's done everywhere in other cities. You go to the UK, to London, you find that some streets are reserved on certain periods for seemingly street trading. Yeah, you'd find Oxford Street or other streets that could be blocked certain portions. So I think that should have been the best way for me to approach that and manage the people properly, so that there is win-win situation on both ends.
So thank you very much. That is about street vendors who were removed from the central business district in Lusaka yesterday. We have had the Citizens First President Harry Kalaba give his view as regards those vendors that were removed, and also the former local government minister Stephen Kampyongo also giving a view as regards the removal of street vendors. You can also give us what you think about that particular story as regards the removal of street vendors on the numbers that are on your screen, but we are going to be opening the phone lines a little bit later. But if you are really itching to make that particular comment, you can go to our Facebook page, go to the comment section of this particular broadcast because it's live, and then leave your comments there. We'll be more than happy to have a look at what you think about those particular stories. Moving on, the Center for Trade Policy and Development, CTPD, is concerned with President Harry Hakainde Ejidema's delay in appointing the board of directors for the Financial Intelligence Center, FIC. CTPD Executive Director Isaac Mwaipopo believes that this is weakening the operations of the center, which has continued to operate without a board of directors for over a year since Finance Minister Stumbeko Msokotwani dissolved the board. He is also concerned with the increasing prevalence of illicit financial activities in the country. Let's look at this.
From CTPD, we think that this delay will further work towards weakening the operations of the Financial Intelligence Center. If the current government is committed to fighting corruption and other forms of illicit financial flows, we are of the considered view that they need to ensure that these institutions are well equipped with competent staff. They also need to ensure that the governance side pertaining to the organization or the running of these entities is strengthened. From the Center for Trade Policy and Development, we equally remain concerned that the country has continued to lose resources through illicit financial flows. It is disheartening to notice that criminals are actually riding on the weak legislations pertaining to beneficial ownership, and they are looting resources through various corporate entities. It further saddens us that law enforcement agencies are not coordinating in a manner that would help us to win this fight. We would want to make an appeal to all the law enforcement agencies to work together and ensure that culprits that are looting public resources are brought to book and they are taken through the court system, so that ultimately those resources which are stolen from the public coffers can be recovered and utilized to advance the interest of the Zambian people.
So those are the stories that we had for you on the Emerging Stories segment. We didn't talk about the issue of the street vendors and also the issue of the board at the FIC, where we have had no board since the previous one was dissolved over a year ago. So CTPD raising concerns about the non-availability of that particular board and saying that it is weakening the operations of the center. So those are the stories that we have for you, the stories that we expect in our main news bulletin at 19:30 tonight. And moving on, we are now going to be reminding you of some of the stories that were happening a few years back, some 2-3 years ago, just to refresh our memories in a segment that we call the Forgotten Stories segment. Now, before we go into that particular segment, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be refreshing your minds as regards what used to happen a few years back.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Akora kansheko alakula chancha mukero kula chekerera ucho mwana nani nanga nyaba butuka uwinge wo munanga tikasambe nani ingata mwishibe pekeni twiposhe bana fya sasa ushe umwana nani na ingana babutuka uwinge wo munanga tikasambe nani mwe ipikia ini shenya bo mwikere nabo.
Thank you very much. Now, welcome to the segment that we call the Forgotten Stories segment. Now, on this segment, we give you stories that happened a few years back, just to refresh your memories and show you where we are coming from. And we start in 2020. On this day, the Electoral Commission of Zambia had updated the nation as far as the printing of ballot papers was going in Dubai. Let's have a look at this.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia has today, 19th July 2021, updated the monitoring team here in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, that the printing of the forthcoming elections ballot papers is progressing according to schedule. So far, the presidential, mayoral, and council chairperson, and also parliamentary printing is at 100% done, and the remaining local government councillor ballots stand at 79% complete. The process has yet brought to the fore the urgent need for constitutional reforms with regard to the electoral process, such as circumstances surrounding fresh nominations after the demise or indeed withdrawal of any of the validly nominated candidates. It is our expectation that the leadership that will be ushered into office after the 12th August 2021 polls will prioritize these reforms through a broad-based consultative process that will focus on enhancing Zambia's electoral laws, in addition to addressing other lacunas in the 2016 amended constitution.
So that was as regards the printing of ballot papers. Now, in the same year, the ECZ had called for fresh nominations for the Lusaka Central, Chawama and Mandevu seats. However, the Lusaka lawyer had petitioned this decision. Let's have a look at this.
Recently, debates had emerged following the decision by the Electoral Commission of Zambia to cancel 3 parliamentary nominations in Mandevu, Lusaka Central, and Chawama. This decision by the Commission to call for fresh nominations for eligible candidates was done following the death of Zambian United for Sustainable Development Party candidate in Mandevu, the resignation of an independent candidate in Lusaka Central, and withdrawal from Leadership Movement Party candidate in Chawama. Now, a Lusaka lawyer, Michael Mutwani, has petitioned the Constitutional Court seeking an interpretation from the court if the Commission has the powers to cancel or postpone a presidential parliamentary election under a general election. Mr. Mtwena, in his petition, has cited the Attorney General as the respondent. According to the originating summons filed in the Constitutional Court, the petitioner seeks a declaration that pursuant to Article 52(6) of the Constitution, ECZ only has powers to cancel or postpone a standalone presidential election as provided for in Article 1065 and 1058, or parliamentary by-election and local government by-election as provided for in Article 57, and that all elections held under general elections are not amenable to cancellation or postponement by the Commission. Mr. Mtwena also seeks a declaration that ECZ with respect to general elections only has the obligation and power to cancel nominations where there is death, resignation or disqualification of a candidate after clause of nomination, and that they are further constitutionally obligated to hold fresh nominations and maintain the date of such general elections as set out in the Constitution for all elections that are supposed to be held under general elections. He is further seeking a declaration that a vacant seat or office of MP, mayor, council, chairperson, or councillor occasioned by the expiration of the term of office and dissolution of Parliament or Council pursuant to Article 72(1), 83(1) and 3 and 157(1) is fundamentally different from a vacant seat as defined in Article 72(2) and Article 157(2). Mr. Mutwena wants the Constitutional Court to interpret constitutional provision that relate to the matter and the circumstance under which an election may be cancelled. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Thank you very much. So that is a story from 2020. Now moving on to 2021, in the NDC had advised the Patriotic Front, the then ruling Patriotic Front, to stick to their words as regards the health restrictions that they had put in place in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the Patriotic Front were preaching adherence to the COVID restrictions, and the other stakeholders were feeling that maybe the PF were not adhering to these restrictions. Let's have a look at this.
Opposition have continued to advise the ruling Patriotic Front to stick to their word with the COVID-19 preventive measures. July 18, 2020, the Minister of Health, Dr. Chitalu Chilufya, emphasized COVID-19 has the potential to wipe out the whole world if treated with less seriousness, as he went on to discourage large gatherings in the country. Interesting enough, the same time the health minister was addressing the press in Lusaka province, Minister Bowman Lusambu was in Kitwe attending to a Patriotic Front mobilization meeting. These contradictions in the ruling Patriotic Front have worried the opposition, as they say the Patriotic Front must be blamed for helping to spread the deadly virus COVID-19. National Democratic Congress Party NDC spokesperson Saboy Imboela says the ruling Patriotic Front must be able to lead by example in the fight against the coronavirus.
COVID, I think it's becoming more apparent now, because when we complain in terms of by-elections or other human rights abuse, I think people don't really understand. But I think with the COVID, that has become more apparent each and every day, because COVID-19 is real. People are dying. You know, Parliament itself is a hotspot. But we have seen that from the President himself. The President has been going, mobilizing in the name of inspecting the so-called developmental projects, and that's not the case, you know. And yesterday, like everybody saw, the Minister of Health was busy giving a press conferences side, and the other side, the Lusaka Province Minister, Honorable Bowman Lusambu, was on the Copper Belt with a large gathering, you know, and they're not even observing social distancing, they're not masking up, they're not doing anything in terms of the guidelines. So this is a very, very sad situation, and would like to urge, you know, the PF, you know, and their ministers to ensure that the guidelines for COVID-19 are implemented. Ms. Imboela says what the ruling are forgetting is they are sending out a message of no COVID-19 in Zambia. Well, first and foremost, when people talk about the PF being the ones behind the fast spreading of the coronavirus, it talks about the same things that people are complaining about them not observing the same guidelines that they've put in place. I gave you an example earlier on of the president going to Shangombo, for example. He went to Shangombo, and he went, I think that was Luampa and Sioma. You saw the large gatherings that came to welcome him. You know, so with that, when the president moves, he moves around with a large entourage. So the president may not be sick, but the people with him, you know, we've got the paramilitary, we've got the ministers, we've got all these officials that go around with the president. And they're coming from Lusaka, which is a hotspot. You know. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Thank you very much. So moving on, in the same year, a police officer had resigned from the service, saying political cadres had too much power than the police. Let's have a look at this.
Recently, we have heard members of the public complain about cadres, and others cited cadres have become more unruly during the reign of the Patriotic Front government, while political parties continue to finger point. The recent one I can give you is that where police officers were beaten at Central Police by suspected Patriotic Front cadres, as the cadres also went away with a certain amount of money. Now, here is a police officer who has resigned due to the current happenings in the country, citing too much power being given to the cadres and corrupt activities currently taking place in the country. Number 43888, Sergeant Chipepo Musonda Jason, a police officer, has resigned.
Number 43888, Sergeant Chipepo Jason Musonda of Zambia Police. And today, the 16th of July, I've decided to resign out of the public service because of the things that I've noticed that I'm not happy with. And you know, when certain things are happening in life, we expect one to take responsibility. Why have we allowed cadreism in our country to take this stage? Why have we allowed this? Why have we allowed this? That's a question that begs for an answer. What is that, you know, that security system, what is it doing in these political parties? What is the role of those, you know, thugs with big chests and big muscles? What's the role of those guys that you have called security? And why do we need those guys around? Because if we aspire, probably to the UPN and the NDC, if we aspire to lead this country, you know, we should do away with, we should have enough confidence in the state police that they will provide, you know, the intended security that is needed. The needed security. Why should we create another security system amongst ourselves? Why?
Now, a statement has been released by police that the police officer has been charged with desertion, an offense committed by police officers who abscond from duty for a stipulated period of time, and this is a matter triable by the criminal courts of law. Police Public Relations Officer Esther Mwata Katongo says police in Muchinga province are looking for this man as he has been absent from duty for a long time, which is against Section 26 of the Zambia Police Act, Cap 107. Ms. Katongo further clarified police have not yet received any communication from him on his resignation. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Thank you very much. So those are some stories that we picked for you on the Forgotten Stories, just to remind you of what was happening in those days. So we did look at a story as regards the ECZ and the printing of ballot papers, and we also looked at the filing in of fresh nominations for Mandevu, Chawama and Lusaka Central, and we also looked at a story where the NDC thought that the PF were not adhering to the health restrictions that they were putting in place in as far as fighting COVID-19 was concerned. And we did also look at a story where a police officer decided to resign, considering the fact that there was too much cadreism and that cadres had too much power, far much more than the police officers. So he thought he wouldn't manage to work in such an environment, and he decided to step down as a police officer. So those are the stories that we thought we could share with you and just refresh your memories from the days those issues were happening. So that is all we did have for the forgotten stories. And now we are moving into the next segment. Now, in that particular segment, we do expect that you give us a call on the numbers that are on your screens and give us your views as regards the issues that we are looking at this particular afternoon. Patrick Soko will be joining us on the other side to help analyze some of these particular stories, even as you come in and give us your views on the numbers that are on your screens. Let's take a short break.
Ingata mwishiwe tekeni tuipushe bwana fia sasa ushe umwana na nyina ingana babutuluka uwinge wo munankwati sambe nani mwe ipushya ina sheni abo mwikere nabo.
Join me, Amazing Katamanda, on the weekly gospel show for those exciting and interesting interviews with your favorite gospel
Hold on to me when it's too dark to see. You cannot put your power back to war.
Hallelujah. And this time around, we are bringing to you entertainment news and the countdown, as you guys are able to nominate your top 3 favorite music videos of the week. Remember, it's every Saturday at 10:45. You can also catch repeats every Monday at 10 hours. Camnet TV is not just another time.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you very much. So this is the segment we call the viewers' reactions. Now you are given an opportunity to call us on 0973167840. That's 0973 rather 167840. That's the number that you're dialing if you want to get in touch with us. Now remember also that we can receive your messages on our WhatsApp line, which is 0962 444 726, 0962 444 726. Now that one is strictly for text messages, for WhatsApp messages and WhatsApp voice notes and WhatsApp videos. If you want to do a short video of yourself talking about some of the issues that we are looking at today, you can send those particular videos to that particular line, which is 0962 444 726. That's the number for your WhatsApp messages. Alternatively, you can call us on 0973 167840. That's the number if you want to call us live in a studio. Alternatively, you can go to our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV, and then go to this particular broadcast. It is live on our page. and then leave your comments in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to see what you think as regards what we are looking at this very beautiful afternoon rather. Now remember that some of the stories that we are looking at are those that include Citizens First President Harry Kalava, who is talking about the removal of street vendors in the streets of Lusaka, and he says this particular process was not done well. So he says vendors should have been consulted before being removed, and alternative places could have been found before the vendors were removed from the streets. Also, former local government minister Stephen Kampyongo has given his voice as regards the removal of street vendors, and he says that this should have been done in a win-win basis, ensuring that the street vendors also given a lifeline as that matter is concerned. Also, another story that we were looking at is that of CTPD, who feel that President Hakainde Hichilema must move quickly as regards the appointing of the board of directors at FIC. We do have a call on the line. Do we have a caller? Hello, good afternoon. Okay, let's look at some of the messages that we have received. Now, this one says regarding the removal of street vendors, I would like to commend the Lusaka City Council and other relevant institutions that came on board to carry out this exercise. Lusaka City for a long time has been neglected and left in the hands of vendors, and that costed us a lot. There was just a lot of dirty in the city. Okay, thank you very much for that particular message. This issue shouldn't even be politicized, shouldn't even be a political matter, but a national issue of hygiene and cleanliness. Now, every well-meaning Zambian citizen will commend this task taken by the Lusaka City Council. It is painful, yes, and we sympathize with the street vendors, but let them go to places designated for trading and we shall follow them. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate for that particular message. We do have a caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Makopa.
Your name and where you are calling us from, sir?
My name is Andrew from Wendy.
Mr. Andrew, please go ahead and give us your contribution.
Yes, first of all, I tend to differ with opposition, what leaders or presidents we have in Zambia. I've never seen heard of them, commenting whatever they are doing. So what is the function of we must start by defining who is an opposition, who is an opposition leader, who is an opposition president. What are his functions? I've never seen them. I've never seen them applauding their friends. They are only condemning. There was this Kawatan chief was saying there was a meeting that was called that there will be this exercise. All the street vendors should go back to the stand, to the market, to the trading areas, designated trading areas. Here we are today, Kalawa condemns the exercise. Here we are today, Kantian condemns the exercise. But this is what we should do. This is the way to go by. You cannot allow a situation where there is death all over. People are just, trading on the street. Vehicles are some of the streets are becoming even impassable, because of 3 vehicles. Here is condemning it. People were consulted. Somebody has actually confirmed. They were consulted. There was a meeting. Here they are, condemning the right thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming through. We really do appreciate your contribution. You can also call us on 0973 167840 if you want to give us your contribution. Alternatively, you can send those WhatsApp messages at 0962 444 726. That's the number. If you want to send, you could to communicate with us via sending messages on WhatsApp. That's the number that you can send to. It's either a voice note or a video, a 1-minute video, or a message. That's a WhatsApp number you can use. You can also go to our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV, and then go to the comment section of this particular broadcast and leave your comments there. We'll be more than happy to see what you think about what we are discussing. Now, we are going to be playing you a clip of the Home Affairs, Local Government Permanent Secretary Mambo Hamaundu, and what he said as regards removal of street vendors from the streets of Lusaka. And also we are hopefully going to be playing you another report as regards the removal that took place yesterday. We get to hear what transpired really, and how these people were removed and engaged, if at all they were engaged, as regards this move that was taken by government yesterday. Now, the number you are dialing is 0973 167840. That's the number that you're dialing. If you want to get in touch with us, you can call us and give us your views as regards what we are looking at. Now, let's take a listen to Mr. Kampyongo, who is former local government minister, and what he said as regards the issue of removing street vendors. He suggests that it be on a win-win basis. Now let's have a listen to what he had to say.
There was a program called Decongest Saka and Other Cities, which saw the expansion of roads, and which also was going to see to it that the road network in the CBD, which was designed when the traffic volumes of motor vehicles and people were very low. I mean, Lukakai Road, Chachacha Road, Freedom Way, Lumumba Road, and the roads that are there were going to be re-engineered. And so the aspect of traders was equally factored in there. And that apart from increasing trading places, which saw the Simon Moalen trading market, which has been built now, was one of the solutions to try and decongest the streets as the roads were going to be re-engineered and other spaces were going to be identified. So it was, in my view, the most appropriate approach to take, so that you kill two birds with one stone. You remove people from undesignated places of trading by creating designated places, and then apportion certain streets that could be used for specific periods of trading. It's done everywhere in other cities. You go to the UK, to London, you find that some streets are preserved on certain periods for seemingly strict trading. Yeah, you find Oxford Street or other streets that could be blocked certain portions. So I think that should have been the best way for me to approach that and manage the people properly, so that there is win-win situation on both ends.
Street vendors. The issue is about reclaiming the roads. The issue is about ensuring that those who are supposed to operate from the markets go back into the markets. You will note that when you go into some places in town, particularly the CBD, you find that instead of vehicles using 2 lanes, they are using 1 lane. You also note that in the process there was a lot of indiscriminate dumping of garbage, and that in itself was posing a number of health challenges. So the move taken by government is meant actually to protect the citizens, to protect the livelihoods of the broader aspect of the country. Of course, in the process, we could have a few people here and there complain to say that is their source of livelihood, but we are looking at it from a broader picture to say that somebody could be operating by the roadside there, and one day a truck will just get off the one lane which has remained and drive through a number of people, and will have a lot of casualties. So to avert such challenges, it was necessary that such a measure is put in place to really just bring a semblance of orderliness in the way we are conducting our lives as a citizens. So it's got nothing really to do at the end of the day about whether it is removing vendors or not. It's about ensuring that Freedom Way as a road remains as a road. It's about ensuring that the people who have shops in Freedom Way, in Lumumba, use them for that purpose. They pay rates, they pay taxes, and they must ensure that the frontage of their shops are maintained in a more sanitary manner than what we have seen before. I think I also did mention to say that as local authorities generally, they've been involved in a number of activities when it comes to enforcement. So people should not see this as an extraordinary activity. It's normal operations. It's about restoring the usage of public assets because they are meant to benefit everyone in the public as opposed to being an inconvenience to the general public. So that's the reason behind it. What plans do you have in the markets? They simply go to the local authorities and they can be given trading places in the market. That is, if they're ready to go in the markets. In Lusaka particularly, City Market has a number of trading places. In Chawama, in Matero, in Mandevu, across the city, there are a number of trading places which are available. And it is our expectation that our brothers and sisters will go and integrate themselves back in the markets because that's where the majority of them came. If you do recall, when the City Market was got banned a few years ago, that's when we saw a heightened number of people going into the streets. But the market has now been restored, so it is necessary that people actually just go back into the market. And to the general members of the public, my appeal once again is that let us allow or let us refrain from buying goods and services from places which are not markets, from places which are not designated trading places. Let us go into the markets.
Thank you very much. So that is local government and rural development permanent secretary Mambo Hamaundu giving the government stance as regards the removal of street vendors. And also we did play you a clip from Honorable Stephen Kampyongo, who is former local government minister, also given his thought as regards the removal of these street vendors. Now, we do have quite a number of people that have been weighing in on this particular matter as regards the removal of the street vendors. You can also communicate with us either by calling us or sending your messages on WhatsApp or Facebook. So on Facebook, you can go to this particular broadcast and go to the comment section and leave your comments there. We'll be more than glad to see what you think about these particular topics that we are looking at. And also, you can go to, you can send your messages to our WhatsApp line, which is 0962 444 726. So that's 0962 444 726. So that's the number if you want to communicate to us via WhatsApp. you use that particular number. But if you want to call, you can call us on 0973 167840. That's the number that you can dial if you want to get through to us live on TV. Those are the numbers. So we do now have some messages from our Facebook page, and this one says, it's high time we moved with order in our country. So street vendors should just accept the action taken by the local government. Thank you very much for that particular message. We really do appreciate your thoughts as regards this particular matter. So that's how you can get in touch with us via Facebook, WhatsApp also, or calling us direct in the studio. The number is 0973 167840. That's the number that you are dialing if you want to get in touch with us live in the studio. Now, there was another, we do have a caller on the line before we move on. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Joseph, calling you from
Mr. Joseph, please go ahead and give us your contribution.
All right, you forgotten it. You this a political who returned because of now after you came to power after removing did he come back?
Okay. Hello. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. I could hardly hear what he was saying, but we really do appreciate your contribution, and you can also call us on 0973 167840 and give us your thought as regards this particular topic. We are looking at the issue of street vendors and also the issue of the board of directors at the Financial Intelligence Center, where CTPD says it is long overdue. We need a board of directors at that particular center. So I was saying we are now going to give you a report of what transpired yesterday as regards the removal of street vendors. Let's have a look at this report.
Unless they come to tell me that the cleanliness they have seen elsewhere is as a result of accident.
This is National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPE's executive president, Victor Muyumba, about a week ago, expressing concern over the garbage situation in Lusaka's Central Business District, CBD. The garbage situation is mainly attributed to street vendors who are accused of dumping waste indiscriminately. And government Tuesday morning swung into action, removing the vendors from the streets. The vendors reached down to a shock as they were greeted by an unfamiliar sight of heavy police presence with their makeshift structures powered or displaced. President Hakainde Hichilema in January of 2022 halted a similar exercise, directing the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development not to remove the street vendors from undesignated trading places until further consultations were held. The aggrieved vendors later stormed the Lusaka City Council LCC offices, demanding audience with Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Gary Nkombo, claiming there are no alternative trading spaces in town.
twapapata togwada tusakirire ni place kwamene muza tupereka Simon Mwewaleni achepa so Simon Mwewaleni ngati muone kwambirira pa duris paja kwenda ofika paja pa Lumumba bantu bapaka.
The vendors have also denied causing garbage in the city as they paid user fees to LCC for collection.
But the fact is, timali pila 5 kwacha every day. Then vakanso vamene vaja ndio vamaikana vantu patu mapevers paja maonaka most of the time vakanso vamene vaja sivayola vavisiya so chabe.
Leveled with the concerns of the vendors, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary Technical Services Nicholas Piri says the move comes after wider consultations.
Even associations of street vendors and traders themselves did agree that the issue of law and order in the trading spaces had reached alarming levels, which was a threat to public health and public safety.
Mr. Piri has also denied the assertion that there are no alternative trading spaces for the vendors in markets, adding that the illegality has to come to an end.
If today you went through town, you actually have some feel of fresh air, the roads have been decongested, and a lot more space has been released. So we can only appeal to the marketeers to go back to those spaces that have been designated to them, and in an event that they don't have trading space, then they can approach the council and the council will be able to designate their trading spaces.
Several attempts to remove the vendors from the streets in the past have been short-lived owing to political nature of the matter, as the affected champion the cost of living, among other concerns that seemingly push government to reverse its stance. This is therefore the first test for the New Dawn administration to bring sanity to the city, and only time will tell if it will hold. For Camnet TV News, I am Kaptula Afias in Lusaka.
So that is about the removal of street vendors in the streets of Lusaka, the central business district. It has brought about a lot of talk, people weighing in and giving their different views. We've had mixed feelings from various stakeholders as regards this particular matter. So on that note, we come to the end of today's Lunchtime Cafe. But don't forget to join us again tomorrow as we bring to you another exciting program at exactly 12 hours. Have a blessed afternoon.